Hello there, everybody! This is ShadowGear635 here, doing a review of the Protector of Water, the POW. I only came up with that joke like a couple days ago. It's not that funny. This is technically the first set of Bionicle G2 I had picked up. It was a time when Junie, my girlfriend, came over for Christmas of last year, and that was around the time when the set started leaking out of Target. And the last day she was here, we just went storming around different stores looking for them. So it was like the day after Christmas. We just went storming everywhere. And we found a lot of them. And the first two we found were the Protector of Earth and the Protector of Water. So on the same day, I picked up my favorite one and my least favorite one. Well, that's actually kind of a lie. The Ice Protector is still my least favorite. But yeah, here he is, here she is. I'm not sure. I mean, it's implied that the protectors or the villagers, this particular race, are biological in some way to where they can breed because there's a baby version of them. I don't know. Who cares? But this is this guy. I guess I'll just call it a him for the sake of simplicity. I think he is a flawed but kind of cool set. Starting from the ground up, for the sake of posability and stuff, I'm going to remove his weapon there. And this is just the base figure. And the build of him is very similar to the larger characters, very similar to the Protector of Stone and Protector of Jungle, with some slight differences. Starting from the feet, I'm going to be nitpicking a lot in this review in terms of colors. Primarily two things in particular. I wish his feet were silver, only because his hands are silver. Or you can flip that around and make his hands black, but his lower arms are black as well. So just a little inconsistent with that in particular. But my biggest complaint with colors on this guy is the two different colors of trans blue. And man, just make up your mind. Like, I would personally would love to see more dark trans blue. What's used here on the upper leg, used for the limbs and the propellers, and part of his mask. But we'll get to that as soon as we get up there. I don't know. Like, it would have been great to have new colors, and just looks so weird looking at him. I mean, once you get him in focus, because I just knocked the focus ring, like, he just looks so weird because he has some dark bits here, like in his torso, and then up here it's kind of a medium, and then the outside of his limbs and the turbines here are all lighter color. And I guess they could represent the different colors of water, but then again, Gali has all one uniform of trans blue on her. So, again, there's not a matchup there with the Protector and the Toa. That shouldn't be mandatory, but it would be preferred, to be honest with you. But the legs are okay. It's such a generic looking build. It's got the bend in it and everything. I didn't cover the posability in the last review with the major limbs because it's obvious. But yeah, it's standard for that. Torso is big and bulky, not all of them, a majority of the protectors, where they got this big chest here. And I grew to be okay with it. It's not something I prefer, but I grew to be like, okay, sure. It's a feature they all have. But it sucks a lot on this guy because of his weapon, which I think is a pretty cool, unique weapon. Connecting it together the way that he holds it, it kind of gets in the way, especially if you want to make him have a tighter pose like that, especially if you want to go for the gear feature here. I don't know, I think it's a little weird. I mean, you can do the thing where you can have him go forward like this, and just go, vroom, I'm swimming through the air. Here I go. That was really dumb. But in general, I am a fan of the weapon. I think the weapon is pretty cool. One thing in particular I do like to do as a configuration with this thing is that I like to... I'm gonna tilt down for a second here and focus properly because I am not an amateur. I am a proper gentleman. I like to separate these out, and that way he just kind of holds two little harpoons as like not cannons, but just like these little sticks. And then the blaster, I just like to stick right back here when it's not in use. And there we go. And that way it's a little more compact. I guess I like giving them the dual weapons. I think that looks really cool. It does eliminate the feature of this cannon, but it's okay. The arms, again, pretty standard. I gotta say though, I wasn't that big of a fan of these giant turbine propeller things on his shoulders, but I think they look really cool. Only because like they're fun to play with because they're so posable. I mean, there's only two like particular swivels. I mean, this is on a ball joint, but let's face it, it might as well be a swivel that you can move it around on, and like you can push it to the front and kind of just do something like that and give him like a giant turbine boob turbines. I'm sure it exists. And do that. Like I think it's fun to pose this around and have a good old time. Again, wish this was a trans dark blue instead of having this. Again, it may be representative of water, but I don't know, man. I don't know. And then we move on to the mask, which there is nothing wrong with this mask. In fact, I love the design of the protector mask in general. However, I do think it's super weird that there is no bright blue, the new color used for CCBS, on anywhere else on this mock and only on his face. I think it's super jarring. And then even the trans color of the mask, it's hard to tell what in particular what trans color it is. Like it looks more close to the light blue here. I'm super nitpicking, I know, I'm sorry. But it's closer to this color, but it's still dark enough. I mean, it's very hit and miss in terms of the different trans-colored like tolerances on these guys. I mean, recently going to a Lego store, I found a protector of Earth in the display case, whose whole mask was trans black. Like there was no purple in this little area here. It was all trans black. So it depends, which is going to be super interesting when the new masks come out with the zombie guys. But I don't know, like, the only real issue with this guy are his colors. But overall, he's not a bad set. I think he's cool. He's certainly not one I would pick up first, despite the fact that I did. Then again, looking for these guys was a mad rush to begin with, and I picked up all of them within the span of like 2-3 weeks. But yeah, I think he's really cool. If you just can get past his colors, I think he's super fun just to play with and have a good time. But yeah, I make him like your second or third protector if you haven't picked all of them up yet. Which, hey man, it's been so friggin' long at this point, you might have picked up all of them, maybe doubles. Clarence Onua be praised. But this is Shadow Gear 635. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And goodbye! 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 I got a message from an email. Lego shop at home. Don't forget your free exclusive Winter Soldier. I already got that, assholes.